It's a world of extremes. Extreme love or extreme hate, and absolutely nothing in between. 1 minute you're a god, the next you're the enemy. This is the biopic of the borderline personality, the intense fear of being left and the chaos it creates. Today, we're diving deep into a topic that affects millions, either directly or through their relationships with loved ones. We're talking about borderline personality disorder, or BPD. This isn't about labels or judgment. It's about understanding. It is about peeling back the layers of what can be a very confusing and painful experience for everyone involved. If you've ever felt like you're walking on eggshells, or if you yourself feel like your emotions are a runaway train you can't control, this conversation is for you. We're going to explore the core fears, the psychological mechanisms, the intense emotional landscape, and most importantly, the path toward healing and stability. Let's start with the absolute core of the borderline experience, the fear of abandonment. This isn't just a simple worry about being alone. It's a deep-seated, primal terror. For someone with BPD, the slightest hint of distance or space from a loved one doesn't just feel like a minor slight. It can feel like a complete and total rejection. It can feel like death. Imagine your partner says they need a night out with their friends. A neurotypical response might be, okay, have fun. But for someone with BPD, the internal monologue can be a catastrophic spiral. They're tired of me. They're going to meet someone else. They're leaving me. I'm going to be alone forever. This isn't an exaggeration. It's the raw, unfiltered panic that can hijack their entire system. This fear often stems from early life experiences, like childhood trauma, neglect, or inconsistent caregiving, where the person learned that relationships are unstable and that people can leave at any moment without warning. So, as an adult, their brain is constantly scanning for threats of abandonment. A text message left unread for too long, a slightly different tone of voice, a canceled plan, these small things become magnified into proof that their worst fear is coming true. This isn't a conscious choice to be dramatic. It's a survival instinct gone into overdrive. The desperation to prevent this perceived abandonment can lead to what are sometimes called frantic efforts, like constant texting or calling begging, or even making threats, all in a desperate attempt to pull the person back and feel safe again. Understanding this profound fear is the first step to understanding the behaviors that come with it. Now, let's talk about a key psychological defense mechanism that goes hand in hand with this fear: splitting. Splitting is the mind's way of simplifying a complex and threatening world. It's the tendency to see people, situations, and even oneself in black and white terms. All good or all bad. There is no gray area. When you're in the all good category, you are idealized. You are the perfect partner, the savior, the most wonderful person in the world. You can do no wrong. They might shower you with intense affection, praise, and gifts. It feels amazing, like the most passionate love story ever written. But this pedestal is a very precarious place to be, because with one perceived misstep, one action that triggers that fear of abandonment, you can be knocked off and fall into the all bad category. This is called devaluation. Suddenly, you're the enemy. You're selfish, cruel, and intentionally hurtful. All the good you've ever done is erased, and all they can see are your flaws. The person they loved one moment is now the person they hate the next. This rapid switch can be incredibly disorienting for the person on the receiving end. You're left thinking, what did I do? How did we get here? It's important to remember that this isn't necessarily a reflection of you. It's a protective mechanism. It's easier for the brain to categorize someone as all bad and push them away than it is to sit with the complicated, painful feelings of being let down by someone they love and depend on. This splitting is a way to manage overwhelming emotions that feel too big to handle in any other way. This brings us to the next crucial point, the emotional burn. Why do feelings seem to last longer and hurt more for someone with BPD? This phenomenon is often referred to as emotional dysregulation. Think of your emotional response system like a thermostat. For most people, when something upsetting happens, the thermostat kicks in, regulates the temperature, and brings things back to a comfortable baseline relatively quickly. For someone with BBPD, that thermostat is broken. A small emotional spark can ignite a massive, raging bonfire. Their emotional baseline is often higher to begin with, so it takes less to push them into an intense state. And once they're there, coming back down is a much slower, more arduous process. Research suggests there might be a biological basis for this. Studies have shown that the amygdala, the part of the brain that acts as our emotional alarm system, can be overactive in people with BPD. At the same time, the prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for logic, reason, and impulse control, can be underactive. So you have a hypersensitive alarm system constantly going off, and the part of the brain that's supposed to say, hey, calm down, it's not a real emergency, isn't working at full capacity. This means that feelings of sadness, anger, shame, and anxiety are not only triggered more easily, but they are also felt with much greater intensity and for a longer duration. It's not that they're choosing to overreact. Their entire neurobiological system is wired to experience emotions in this amplified way. It's an internal emotional sunburn that never seems to heal, where even the slightest touch can cause excruciating pain. After exploring the intense fear, the black and white thinking, and the emotional turmoil, it can feel like a hopeless situation. But I want to be crystal clear. It is absolutely not. There is hope, and there is a path forward. The road to stability is real, and it's built on two foundational pillars: boundaries and therapy. Let's talk about boundaries first. For both the person with BPD and their loved ones, learning to set and respect healthy boundaries is a game changer. For the loved one, it's not about being cold or uncaring. It's about creating safety and predictability. It means learning to say no without guilt. It means communicating your own needs and limits clearly and consistently. For example, instead of getting pulled into a 3-hour circular argument at midnight, you might say, I love you, and I can see you're really upset. I can't talk about this right now, but I am here for you, and we can talk tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. when we're both calm. This doesn't abandon the person. It models a healthy, regulated way of handling conflict and creates a structure that feels safe and reliable, which can paradoxically reduce the fear of abandonment over time. For the person with BPD, learning to set their own boundaries is about reclaiming their sense of self. It's about learning to say no to things that drain them and yes to things that nourish them, separating their own feelings from the feelings of others. Now, let's talk about therapy, the other essential pillar. While there are several effective modalities, the gold standard for treating BPD is dialectical behavior therapy, or DBT. DBT was specifically designed by Dr. Marsha Linehan, who herself struggled with BPD. It's a skills-based therapy that works on 4 key areas: mindfulness, or being present in the moment; distress tolerance, which is learning to survive crisis situations without making them worse; emotion regulation, which is understanding and managing your emotions; and interpersonal effectiveness, which is learning to communicate needs and set boundaries in a way that maintains self-respect and strengthens relationships. DBT provides a concrete toolbox of skills that help individuals navigate the intense emotional waves instead of being swept away by them. It's not a quick fix. It's hard work that requires commitment. But over time, it helps individuals build what Dr. Linehan calls a life worth living. It helps them create their own safe harbor, a place of internal stability that isn't dependent on the validation or presence of another person. It's a journey from chaos to calm, from reactivity to choice, and from loving on the edge to loving from a place of wholeness. Living with or loving someone with BPD can feel like a constant roller coaster of intense highs and devastating lows. The journey toward understanding and stability is not a straight line. There will be setbacks, there will be moments of doubt, and there will be times when it feels like nothing is changing. But every small step, every skill learned, every boundary set, and every moment of self-compassion is a victory. It's a move away from the edge and toward solid ground. If you recognize yourself or a loved one in this description, please know that you are not alone and help is available. Seeking a diagnosis from a qualified mental health professional is the first step. Therapies like DBT can be life-changing. Support groups, both for individuals with BPD and for their families, can provide an invaluable sense of community and understanding. Remember, a diagnosis is not a life sentence. It's a roadmap. It's an explanation that can finally make sense of the chaos. And more importantly, it's the starting point for a journey toward healing, stability, and a more peaceful existence. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive. If this conversation resonated with you, please consider sharing it. The more we talk openly about mental health, the more we can dismantle the stigma and build a world of compassion and support. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content that explores the complexities of the human mind. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other.